The treatment approach that I researched was prompt therapy. This approach uses tactile and kinesthetic cues to guide the client through forming the correct movements to produce speech at the phoneme, word, and phrase level. The clinicians provided them with the sensory input in the hopes of improving the precision and automaticity of speech movements. The populations most likely to benefit from prompt therapy are people with Broca's aphasia or apraxia of speech. When I watched the video of prompt therapy in class, I thought it was interesting because I have never heard of it or seen it being done before. The hypothesis that my article investigates is the effectiveness of prompt therapy and the acquisition of generalization of precision and automaticity of speech movements in an individual with Broca's aphasia and apraxia of speech. Treatment effects the generalizations were examined for 3 linguistically different forms of sentences, including imperatives, active declaratives, and interrogatives. The subject under investigation was a 30-year-old female with co-occurring Broca's aphasia and apraxia of speech. She attended individual treatment sessions 3 times a week that were over 50 minutes long. The treatment chosen incorporated prompt cueing at the sentence or phrase level while the subject was attempting to produce the sentences chosen for treatment. To be correct, the utterances were required to be free of articulation and fluency errors. The clinician verbally presented the target phrase and the subject attempted to repeat it. If correct, the next trial on that phrase was presented. If incorrect, the clinician immediately presented the prompt cues selected to reduce her movement errors. The subject again attempted to produce the target phrase immediately after being prompted. With the prompt treatment, the subject's speech motor production improved for the trained and untrained items for imperatives and active declaratives. The performance on interrogatives did not improve with the prompt therapy. The results of this study indicated that prompt therapy induced positive changes in improving the precision and automaticity of speech movements for relatively simple sentence structures like imperatives and active declaratives. However, there was no significant change or improvement for interrogatives. It has been demonstrated that interrogatives are more complex forms of sentences to produce. Some strengths of this study were that it aimed to determine whether the acquisition of movement precision is affected by sentence structure and if the verbal production depends on the linguistic nature of the utterances. A limitation of this study was that it was only done on one subject. Another limitation was the context of the subject's reaction. She was extremely motivated and a willing participant, so research needs to determine whether the findings obtained would generalize individuals who were less motivated. The evidence from this study demonstrated that prompt therapy had positive effects for changing the speech movements for relatively simple sentence structures. I would like to know how the results of the subject in this study would compare to others when given this same treatment.